Hey guys, Riley Owen here. I thought it would be fun to do another Rayman collection because with the recent leaks and announcements from Ubisoft confirming that they are working on the Rayman brand, it's got me excited. And, you know, what can I say? I've loved Rayman since I was a kid, and I'm excited to see what, what Ubisoft has got in store for us for Rayman. So let's start. So first off, we got the main 5 Rayman games. Okay, so these are the main line Rayman games. Now there's many other Rayman games besides these ones, but it's like if you talk about Super Mario games, you know, you got Yoshi's Safari, Mario is missing, Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2, and Mario Party, things like that. But that's different than Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, New Super Mario Bros. 2, that kind of thing. Mario 64. So that's, this is like the main series, okay? And these are sort of divided up into 2 sections. So we got the original trilogy that ran from 1995 to 2003. And then we have the reboot. They rebooted the Rayman series, which started in 2011 and ended in 2012 or 13. But these are the main games. So we're gonna start, and by the way, it's amazing that we have 5 big Rayman games because Rayman started off as a really popular character, but gradually declined in popularity, even by Rayman 2. And really didn't hit the Rayman 1 stride again until the last game, Rayman Legends. But there was like a Rayman TV show and all this great stuff that Ubisoft was really banking on Rayman being their golden boy. And he was for a little bit, but really I do think Rayman will always be sort of living in the shadows of like Mario and Kirby and things like that. He just doesn't scream. He not that he doesn't have main character appeal. It's just he screams second banana, and his stuff is unique. Rayman is such a fun art piece that it's natural for it not to have a super broad appeal. A lot of people do love Rayman, but it's such an artsy thing that really it's gonna be more of a cult thing. Anyway, it's amazing that he reached the popularity that he did to begin with. So the first game, Rayman, I have the Greatest Hits edition on the PlayStation. This is my second favorite game of all time, and it's my favorite Rayman game. I grew up playing this on the Game Boy Advance. Didn't actually get the PlayStation version until years later, but I beat this game a handful of times, 3 or 4 times, and I love this game. And it was originally developed for the Atari Jaguar, but halfway through development of the Jaguar version, they decided to make a PC and PlayStation version, and so the team that was working on the Jaguar version migrated over to the PlayStation, and a different team finished up development on Rayman 1. As far as I know, I could be getting some of that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went. So a lot of people say that this is the definitive version of the game. Some people, it's a bit of a debate. Some people say the Jaguar version is the definitive version. I think they both are, and even if not, all the releases are valid ways to play the game. So, yeah. Rayman, good game. That was the best-selling PlayStation game in the UK. Next, we have the sequel, Rayman 2: The Great Escape, which I have on the PlayStation. I grew up playing this game on the PlayStation. And yeah, I know this is way before my time. I was born in 2005, and this game came out in 1999, but this is a fun game. Most people will generally advise you to stay away from this game, from the PlayStation version, and they'll tell you to play the Dreamcast or the N64 version. And that's valid. I mean, there's a lot of stuff missing from this version, but there's things that this version has that the other versions don't, and I grew up playing it, and I like it. And this is the only version of Rayman 2 I've played. I've never played any of the other versions, so this is normal to me. Notice this did not get a greatest hits edition. Not that it didn't sell well on the PlayStation, but it didn't sell well on the PlayStation, so... After the success of Rayman 2, we got Rayman 3, Hoodlum Havoc. And this is my second favorite Rayman game. This is a fun game. I beat it 2 times, and I beat this game once, actually, yeah. This game was a bit different. It was the first Rayman game in the main series not to have a huge involvement with Michel Ancel, the creator of Rayman. Well, actually, the co-creator of Rayman. Rayman was created by 2 guys, but Michel Ancel was the guy who was always directing these games, and even if he wasn't, he was the head honcho, I guess you could say, of the Rayman games. So people consider him the father of Rayman. For good reason. I mean, he kind of is, but this game's fantastic. I'm a big John Leguizamo fan, and he voiced Glowbox in this game, and he did a great job. I don't really like Glowbox. This is a controversial opinion. Glowbox is this guy, Rayman's best friend. A lot of people love Glowbox. I really don't, but I love him in this game. Every other game, I don't really care much for him. I think his personality was just right in this game. But there's the disc, Rayman 3 manual. And after this game, that was it for a while. So this was 2003, and then in 2011, we got the next Rayman, which was Rayman Origins. And this is on the Wii. And this was the first Rayman game I played. I grew up playing these 2. I had the demo of this game on like the PS3, and then I grew up playing this game. This game was, I remember it being pretty big when it came out, both this and Legends. Yeah, Rayman Origins. I really go back and forth on this game. I'm not a big fan of Rayman Origins or Rayman Legends. I still play them, but yeah, this was a 2D game. This was 2D, and then these 2 were 3D, and then this was 2D, and this was 2D. And then here's Rayman Legends, the latest mainline Rayman game released. And this is the definitive edition on the Switch. I've beat this game 3 times. Rayman Legends. Right now I'm working on 100%ing this game. Oh, my bad, the game isn't in there. It must be in my Switch. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna go and get it, but it should be in there. I have the game, I promise. So that's the mainline series. Show you the spines of these real quick. All 5 Rayman games. Yeah, there you go. So now we move on to spin-offs, and these are Rayman spin-off games. The most popular Rayman spin-off was easily Rayman Raving Rabbids. It became its own series. Now they brought Rayman into this Rabbids game, so the Rabbids were developed for Rayman originally. But then they decided to make it a minigame collection instead of an actual Rayman 4. But they didn't advertise it as this way. They released Rayman Raving Rabbids as Rayman 4. They promoted it as Rayman 4, and people bought it expecting Rayman 4, and what they got was not Rayman 4. So a lot of people are very biased towards Rayman Raving Rabbids. I love this game. I played it back when I was a kid on the Wii. This is the PS2 version, obviously. I think this is a fantastic game. One of the most fun party games you'll ever play. But you'll hear a lot of rabbit hate out there simply because of the very valid reason of people being upset when they bought it initially back in the day. But you shouldn't have that problem if you didn't grow up in 2006. And they brought Rayman in, from what I know, after the cancellation of Rayman 4. They made this game, and then the Rabbids became its own series, and Rayman became more popular than Rayman. They upstaged Rayman, basically, and the Rabbids became its own series. Rayman got phased out. And, okay, so we go to today. A couple years ago, there was a game that I have the digital version of this game, so this is, it came with like a download code. I mean, that's already used, so I mean, you could try it, but it's not gonna work. This game, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, this is a Rabbids game, okay? Not Rayman Raving Rabbids, it's just Rabbids. And Rayman is a DLC. There's a DLC Rayman game in here, which is so funny because it started as Rayman Raving Rabbids. Then the Rabbids, Rayman was like the star attraction, and then the Rabbids became so popular that Rayman is sort of like kicking it, sort of like sliding his foot in the door, saying like, "Hey, can I come in here and be in this game?" You know, like, it's just so funny. It's like they took Rayman's series, the Rabbids took Rayman's series, and then Rayman has to basically ask permission to have just a little piece of the pie. It's just, I think it's really funny and sad, but this is a great game. Rayman Raving Rabbids. And we had a sequel, Rayman Raving Rabbids 2. I did an unboxing of this. Look at that, Rayman's already in the background. He's being phased out in favor of the Rabbids. Look at that, Rayman Raving Rabbids 2. Love this game. I'll show this off because it's kind of funny. I've got the manual here. Got some drawing in there of Rayman with a plunger and some hideous looking Rabbids. Oh my gosh. But this is a fun game too. I love this game, really. And the first big Rayman spin-off was Rayman Arena. And this was basically to fill in the gap between Rayman 2 and Rayman 3. And this is a great game. I love this game. It's like a racing game, but it's a foot racing game. And it's also like a first-person shooter. That's where the arena comes from. It's like arena, you're in these arenas. And this is a great game. It's got great aesthetics. It feels very Rayman. And this game is fantastic. The only problem is the frame rate drops quite a bit sometimes, but it's not a big deal, for me at least. But this game is awesome. It introduces this character. Let's see if we can find her here. Where is she at? Is that her? I don't think that's her. Tilly the Fairy. But I don't think that's Tilly. I think there's like 2 fairies. I did an unboxing of this also on the channel. Is that Tilly? Oh, that is Tilly. Tilly the Fairy. And I like Tilly. She's cool. When she flies, she makes like a da-da-da-da-da-da sound effect. It's really cute. Rayman Arena, I love this game. Been playing this game for a while, pretty much since I got it. A lot of fun. So those are the spin-offs. And here are the spines of those. And here we have handheld games. These are all Game Boy games. So we have Rayman on the Game Boy Color, which I grew up playing a little bit. And this is actually a really great game. It's called Rayman, but it's not Rayman 1. It's based on Rayman 1, but it has Rayman 2 music, and The level design is completely original, though it is inspired by Rayman 1. But we have unique levels like the Ancient Forest, or is that what it's called? Or Ancient Forest, yeah. And what are some of the, I don't know, I can't remember some of the others, but it's cool. The Tings in this game actually have fairies in them. Like, the Tings are fairies, and they speak to Rayman. They're like, come follow me. And they make a trail for him, and they explain basically what you're collecting, why you're collecting the Tings, which I thought was really clever. The artwork in this game is amazing, by the way. And then we got a sequel, Rayman 2. It says Rayman 2 on the cover, but it's Rayman 2: The Great Escape. Focus! Oh my gosh, there we go. Rayman 2... It's just a sticker from when I bought the game. It's a fun game. I beat these two. Oh, by the way, the spin-offs. I haven't beat Rayman Arena. I've gotten close. I have the final league to unlock. I've unlocked one race on there. I've beat this game. I'm working on the score mode, trying to get all the cutscenes and everything. Rayman Raving Rabbids 2, I also beat. Okay. And this game I beat, and this game I also beat, but I didn't 100% it. And there's like another world, I think, that you can unlock if you 100% it. So it says Rayman 2 on the cover, but the actual in-game is Rayman 2: The Great Escape. So, this was handled in the UK. This game, I believe, was in France, which is the home of Rayman, by the way. Rayman's a French character, which you can tell because, man, Rayman, everything screams French that's about Rayman. The horniness in some of these games. There's a lot of, like, sex appeal in Rayman games, actually. Like, you'd be surprised how often that comes. But, you know, it's French, you know? And, the art style and even the name Rayman just seems French to me, even though it's an English name. I don't know. It's weird, but... So then we have... Okay. Game Boy Advance, we have Rayman 3, which started development as Rayman 2. A port of Rayman 2, or a remake, or whatever. But it ended up being branded as Rayman 3 and had a little more Rayman 3 influence in there. So it's like a portable mix hybrid between Rayman 2 and Rayman 3. It used the same game engine as this game, Rayman Raving Rabbids, which is not the minigame collection. This is actually based on the original Rayman 4 prototype that never came out in favor of Rayman Raving Rabbids. But this is called Rayman Raving Rabbids, but it's a 2D version of the game that we were going to get. But take it with a grain of salt. Don't consider this Rayman 4 because it's not. If you look at the DS version of this game, it also has the same treatment where it was like, it wasn't based on the Phoenix version of Rayman 4, but it's a very loose adaptation. So this is a very, very loose adaptation of Rayman 4. I read a comment, someone says, I consider this Rayman 4. Don't do that, because really it's not. You can view it as inspired by Rayman 4, right? That's like calling Rayman 2 on Game Boy Color Rayman 2, you know? I played Rayman 2, really? Yeah, I played it on the Game Boy Color. Well, then you didn't play Rayman 2. Okay, this game I also grew up with. I also grew up with this game. Loved it. Loved this game. This is my third favorite Rayman game right here. If it'll focus. Rayman Hoodlum's Revenge. Can you look? Okay, it won't focus, but... Oh, there we go. And this is an isometric sequel to Rayman 3, okay? Don't now, this is not your Rayman 4, okay? But it is a sequel to Rayman 3. It's a great game. And then we have Rayman Advance, which is a port, or I guess technically remake, of Rayman 1. I haven't beat this game. There was also a DSi version of this game, or a DSi version of, I think it was based on the PC version of Rayman, and I didn't beat that either, but I used to have it. I beat this game a couple times, 2 or 3 times. I beat this game once, and I beat this game twice. Okay, so there you go. But we're not done yet, folks. We still have more to go. Take a look at the show. So if we look right here, these are Rayman pins, and these came out last year or this year, I can't remember. I think it was this year. And this is official Rayman merchandise by Utunes. They had to get Ubisoft's permission, so this is a legit thing here. And these are pretty cool. You get the disconnected pins. So yeah, Rayman pins. So on my Mac here, I have Rayman Mini. Now it's unplayable because I don't have Apple Arcade anymore, and this is actually taken off the App Store now. So it's unplayable. But I like the fact that I still have it downloaded. If you try to open it, it just won't work. Look at that. It just says, we'll show you. It just sends you to Apple Arcade, start playing, that kind of thing. And if you're wondering what this is, it's the files. It doesn't work anymore, sadly, but I can still play the game. Rayman Bar, and what this is a Rayman game that I made myself. I don't really do much coding, but it's basically a game where you're Rayman at a bar, and you're hitting on chicks. And it's really simple. You just wink at chicks and you get points, and if you wink at the wrong girls, you lose points. So really simple, funny Rayman game that I made because I'm a fan of Rayman. Guys, I also forgot to mention, if you look here, Rayman animated series. So I also have digitally the right there, the 4 episodes. And then if you go to extras, we have the announcement for the show, have an interview, we have making of, but this is just a photo montage I did, and other photos. These are just photos. This here is just like concept art. Storyboards, things like that. Look at this. Look at this. Rayman. Rayman is a pilot for a CG animated series based on the main character of the popular game of the same name. So you see this folder here. Video game guys. We got Yoshiro Kimura and Michelle Ancel. Excuse me. Photos here. Like, there's a picture of him with some of his games, like Rayman Raving Rabbids, Rayman Origins and Beyond Good and Evil. You got this amazing picture of Michelle with Glowbox and Rayman wandering in the forest, which looks like a real forest. I mean, I don't know if he's in front of a green screen or not. Here's a really, really young Michelle playing Rayman on the PlayStation. Is this a prototype version? I don't know. But there he is. Oh man. Also got this picture of him directing Rayman 2. And here's a picture of some of the Rayman team. And if you know anything about Rayman Raving Rabbids, you would know why this is peak comedy right here. The only thing that I could think to make this better is if... Oh, he is... Okay, I was like, this would be better if he was in the bathroom. But he is in the bathroom, so it makes... It's good. This is fan art of Michelle. Somebody did. They gave him, punching Rayman fists. And here he is testing Rayman Origins with his eyes. There he is again. Picture of him, for some reason, at Spike TV. I don't know what this is for. I guess it's Video Game Awards 2005. But Spike TV, I don't know what he has affiliation with that. But life is a miracle, Michelle. I'm so glad you said that. And he's got the smoking orchestra. Okay, you crazy guy. I know why you made Rayman now, you crazy nut. Got this lovely picture. Life is a miracle. Here he is with a rabbit. Rayman. This is a picture of him smoking a pipe that the Bubble Dreamer smokes in Rayman Origins. So if you look at the intro to that game, he's smoking, blowing bubbles, and he's dreaming through the bubbles, and that's basically, this is from a trailer, but this is like the unedited version of what was in the trailer. So you know, he's just sort of doing his thing, Rayman style, a Rayman prop essentially. And this down here says Michelle and Miyamoto. If it'll let me click it, oh man. And basically, you got Michelle there, and you also have Miyamoto, Shigeru Miyamoto, and this is cool. There's more pictures of the two of them together than what I'm showing you here, but these are just two of my favorites that I saved. Really, really cool. These are two legends right here, particularly Miyamoto. I think, you know, Miyamoto's a genius, and I think that we are very lucky that he's still alive and that we are alive. We get to witness one of the innovative geniuses. Like, I'm talking like Thomas, like, I don't throw around the term genius, but this dude did so much for entertainment. I mean, there's no denying, you know. I mean, this isn't a video about Miyamoto, so whatever. But this guy is a legend, and this guy is a legend to a lesser degree, but he's a Rayman legend. He doesn't have the same status as Miyamoto, obviously, but he is a fantastic designer. If you listen to Michelle speak about video games and creating just in general, the dude knows what's up. He knows how to make a good game, I can tell you that. And up here, in this huge stack of films, I have the animated series Rayman. This was a TV show from 1999 to 2000, and it lasted 4 episodes. There were more episodes planned, but it got canceled. This is actually, you would think this would be a terrible show, but actually it was really, really good and really groundbreaking for the time. If you read interviews around the time when the show came out, it was getting praise. But, and you know, and the team really, really believed in what they're doing. This is a homemade Blu-ray, by the way. The team were really passionate about this. There are the episodes. The team was really passionate, and they really put their all into the show and trying to make it the best they can be. Unfortunately, in the United States, this is obviously made in France, and the voice acting in the States was absolutely abysmal. The voice acting was so bad. I don't know why it was so bad. I'm sure the French voice acting was much better. I haven't actually seen the French version, but this is a really, really cool show, guys. And it did get an official release in the States. It had a VHS release, which you can actually see in the inside of the Rayman 2 on PlayStation cover. But I don't have that, and it is extremely rare. So in this drawer, I have a homemade... Man, this is awful. It looks demonic, but it's a homemade Rayman. I was up at like 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I'm gonna make a Rayman toy. And this is what it became. You got 8mm film for the hair. You got this like mouse anteater looking face, and you have his bod, his rockin' bod, and you have his hood, and then you have his hands literally are just slips of paper with text on it, and then you have his feet, which are like chopped up pieces of a credit card with paper, construction paper. It is so crude, it's unbelievable, but there you go. You got your Rayman. Yeah! But that's not it, folks. If we look in this laundry basket, you will discover another Rayman toy that I never actually finished. This one looks a lot better than the previous one, but there you have his scar, or his hood. And I really should finish this project, but yeah. There you go. I also have Rayman, Rayman Classic on my phone, which I bought way back in the day. I think this was 2016 or 2015. I think it was probably 2016. And like 3 days after I got it, it stopped working because they took it off the App Store and shut down the servers, whatever. But I still have it, and I'll show you a screenshot. And if you turn off your internet, if you still have this game downloaded, if you turn off your internet, it still works. I don't know how that works because the game doesn't use internet. Ubisoft is certainly a company that does weird things. So that's all I have to say to that. I also had Rayman Jungle Run way back in the day. Sadly, I don't have access to it anymore. So that's gone. But that's also taken off the App Store. There were a bunch of Rayman games that used to be available, and now they're gone. But yeah. So that's my Rayman collection. All right. Peace.